At this very moment, the concepts of national security in the region are changing. What was considered yesterday an impenetrable iron dome has tonight turned into an open sky before a new technology that radars have never encountered before. Missiles launched from Tehran traveled thousands of kilometers and did not merely reach their destination. They chose the heart of Tel Aviv to announce a new military era. Why did the warning sirens fall silent? And how did the fragmented warheads deceive the latest technology produced by America and Israel? Stay with us. The coming details may seem like something out of imagination, but they are a bitter reality being lived at the center right now. Imagine with me, a single missile is launched. It is chased by the American THAAD system and the Israeli Arrow system. While everyone prepares to celebrate a successful interception, something unimaginable happens. In the upper layers of the atmosphere, that single missile turns into 25 explosive warheads. We are not talking about random fragments, but intelligent warheads carrying dozens of kilograms of explosives. Radars designed to track one target suddenly find themselves facing an entire swarm within fractions of a second. This is the cluster terror that struck areas like Yehuda and central Tel Aviv. Are the defense systems incapable of calculating the threat, or is the fragmentation speed faster than digital processing? But the story does not stop at the design of the missile. It lies in the mind of the one launching it. Incoming information confirms that there is a deliberate deception strategy. Missiles are not launched in one wave to make them easier to detect. Instead, they are fired with deadly time intervals. One missile, then a minute of silence, then another missile, then a sudden barrage. This tactic has created what experts call temporal confusion. Early warning systems that used to detect a missile from the moment it left its launcher in Iran appear tonight as if they have been partially paralyzed. Why didn't the Army warn its citizens? Were the frequencies jammed, or do the new missiles have a low radar signature that makes them appear only at the last moment? Look at the map. The attacks are not random. It is a geographical dance of death, a strike in the south followed by a surprise in Haifa and the Galilee, then a sudden concentration on Jerusalem and greater Tel Aviv. This dispersion is not merely a show of strength. It is a systematic exhaustion of interceptor missiles that cost millions. The Israeli press is now boiling with questions about a major technical failure. The Army says it is studying what happened, but in military language, studying means that a new weapon has appeared on the battlefield for which they had no counter. We are talking about missiles never used before, missiles capable of maneuvering and evading in the final moments. The question now is not when the next missiles will fall, but how they will be stopped. If the American THAAD system, with all its technological power, has stood helpless before fragmented warheads, what is the alternative plan? Tonight, Tel Aviv did not sleep, not only because of the explosions, but because of the deadly silence of the warning sirens, which was more terrifying than the explosions themselves. Are we witnessing a new balance of terror imposed by military science? Or is there a hidden technological surprise in the other side's arsenal? The biggest event has begun, and the sky over occupied Palestine is burning. At this moment, we are not talking about a normal escalation, but about the first missile wave in the era of the new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. Tehran's missiles are penetrating the skies, and warning sirens have not stopped from northern Tel Aviv to Ashdod in the south. Listen carefully. This is the sound of interception explosions shaking the Gush Dan area and greater Tel Aviv. More than 4 million Israelis are now rushing to shelters. Streets that were once full of life have turned into ghost cities under the mercy of fire coming from the east. The minutes separating one barrage from another are barely noticeable, a new tactic aimed at exhausting air defenses and preventing them from catching their breath. Images coming from Hadera, Netanya, and south of Haifa paint a terrifying picture, balls of flame colliding in the sky. The Israeli army says that some missiles fell in open areas, but the reality on the ground indicates that the event is far bigger than what the military spokesman is announcing. We are witnessing coordinated missile strikes targeting the strategic depth and striking the nerves of the center directly. Is this only the beginning? And will the new supreme leader be satisfied with this thunderous message? The entire world is holding its breath, and Tel Aviv is living its most terrifying night in years. The images do not lie. What cameras captured in the heart of Tel Aviv exceeds all expectations. Tonight we are not only talking about interceptions in the sky, but about body parts and blood on the ground. The Iranian cluster missile has done its work, and the first result is dead and wounded in locations that believe they were far from death. Look at this site. In a construction area, deadly fragments fell directly on the workers. 2 workers lost their lives instantly, and blood covers the place while emergency teams remove the bodies under heavy security. The tragedy is that these workers had no shelters to protect them, making them easy targets for the steel fragments raining from the sky. Why are Israelis particularly terrified of this missile? The secret lies in deception. They hear the interception far away and believe they are safe, so they come out of their shelters. But the cluster missile covers vast areas. Fragments fall in 6 different locations separated by dozens of kilometers at the same moment. It is distributed death that leaves no safe place. Police and the army are surrounding the area, and there are reports of large, unexploded fragments that now form ticking bombs in the middle of residential neighborhoods. The real terror is not only the power of the explosion, but the inability to predict where the next fragments will fall. Tel Aviv is under aerial siege. The shield they once boasted about is now scattering death instead of preventing it. These images from Tel Aviv are only the beginning of documenting the scale of the catastrophe, a night that will not be forgotten and wounds that will not heal quickly. Stay with us. The truth continues to emerge from beneath the rubble, and coverage continues as long as the sky keeps raining fire. Dangerous developments are shaking the battlefield at this moment. The conflict is moving from the skies to the nerve of life itself. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard has officially announced the targeting of oil refineries and fuel and gas storage facilities in Haifa. We are entering a new stage titled An Eye for an Eye, Oil for Oil, and Fire Answered with Fire. While the Israeli narrative insists that only 1 missile was intercepted, massive explosions echoed across the sky of Tel Aviv, captured by cameras and heard by everyone. Is this an attempt to cover up the scale of the breach? Confirmed information indicates that missile fragments have fallen in more than one area in the southern suburbs of Tel Aviv. The terror is no longer only in the sky. It is knocking on the doors of strategic facilities. As for human losses, the toll continues to rise. Another person has officially been declared dead after succumbing to wounds following the bloody night at construction sites near Tel Aviv. The fragments of the cluster missile continue to claim lives, proving that no matter how powerful air defenses are, they cannot fully control the fragments of death falling from above. In Haifa, the scene grows even more complicated. Israel claims it intercepted Iranian drones heading toward fuel tanks, but the real concern lies elsewhere, in those drones coming from Lebanon, which radars appear to have serious difficulty detecting. Will Israel succeed in protecting its oil heart, or will smoke soon rise from the Haifa refineries? The world holds its breath, and the region stands on the edge of a volcano. The bombardment has not stopped, and predictions indicate even more intense hours ahead. Stay with us. We will bring you the first images of any new strike, because the truth always emerges from the middle of the fire.